Hey guys, it's Madhav. Yes, I know, I haven't made a video in 5 months, but it's for a good reason. I've been off, introspecting by myself, taking my alone time and learning a lot of really cool lessons and working on a bunch of really amazing projects. But today, I wanted to just quickly get back on YouTube and make another video and just share my experiences from one thing that I did, which is meditation. So here are 3 of my quick takeaways from meditating for about half a year now, and also one quick tip for anyone trying to get started. So just for some background, just before we get started, I use the Waking Up app by Sam Harris to meditate. Not sponsored, but it is a really nice app. The reason I'm bringing it up is I'm going to be referring to the hosts from the app when I'm talking about my key takeaways, so just wanted to give that context for anyone who's confused. Alright, so takeaway number 1. The experience is the struggle. Now, when I first started meditating, I was just doing the basics, breathe in, breathe out, focus on your breath, but it was really hard for me, especially in the first few weeks. I kept on getting distracted, I would lose the attention I had on my breath and get lost in all of these thoughts, and it felt really frustrating. I felt like I wasn't good enough at it, and I felt kind of demotivated when it came to continuing to meditate. But then one thing that the host of the app I was using said was very insightful for this. He told me, well, when you have these thoughts, when you have all of these emotions coming up afterwards where you feel judgmental because you think you're not good enough, those things are just more distractions that are preventing you from focusing on your breath. And that's why if you allow yourself to get distracted in these thoughts, that's the opposite of what you're trying to do. So really, the experience is about accepting that you are going to struggle with the distractions, but then not feeling negative about it, just accepting that, and then thinking clearly about, well, where did that judgmental thought come from? Why do I feel frustrated? And just noticing that more clearly. So if you can remember this, and you can remember that the experience is the struggle, this is going to help you a lot more when it comes to enjoying meditation and keeping on going with it and not feeling like you're not good enough. Number 2, make it automatic. So one of my friends only meditates when she's stressed out. To me, that always sounded a little bit weird. Imagine only exercising when your muscles are sore. Obviously, you're not going to like exercising very much. It felt the same way with meditation, especially because at the beginning it was very frustrating, like I mentioned, and there weren't a lot of insights. What I had to do was figure out over time that I didn't need to get wrapped up in the frustrations and that the experience is the struggle. But to do that, I had to meditate consistently. When I meditated for say 1 week and then I left it again and then I joined it again like another week, nothing really clicked for me in those weeks. I still felt the same frustrations, I didn't get any new insights, I didn't feel any different. But when I did meditate consistently, say for an entire month at a time, during those periods were when I really learned how to have a better control over my emotions and then channel that into the rest of my life, not just meditating. So because of that, I think that it's really crucial that when you meditate, you do it consistently. And the easiest way I found to do this was to make it automatic and tie it to an existing routine. So for me, I always went to bed at 10 p.m. And what I did was that 10 minutes before bed, I just made it a rule. No matter what, I have to meditate before I go to bed. And because it was a rule, obviously I followed it all the time. Alright, okay, so I didn't follow it all the time. And obviously no one's perfect, so sometimes you break your rules and you don't do the routine properly, but it was better than nothing. And over the course of weeks and months, I found that it really did help it become automatic. If I didn't meditate before I went to bed, if I didn't meditate, I felt really weird. I felt like I had something missing from my routine before I went to bed. And that made it really easy for me to keep going. It made it automatic and it made it consistent with my routine. And again, this is the key to be able to derive the insights from meditation. So do yourself a favor, and if you want to meditate, make it automatic and tie it to an existing routine you have. And finally, number 3, remember why you started meditating in the first place. So when I first took the course on the Waking Up app, it was a 50-day introduction to meditation. And it was really hard for me to keep going for the entire course. It felt like forever, it felt like I wanted to stop. And at times I felt really demotivated in keeping on going. One thing that really helped me was when the host explained why we actually meditate. There's 2 big reasons. The first one is you're meditating to improve yourself. You're meditating to help yourself and think more clearly. Now, why is this important? Well, you only have one brain. When you meditate and you're all focused and you're training how to think clearly, that's good and it feels nice in the experience, but this isn't just a meditation thing. For the rest of the day, when you go on to work, when you go on to school, you have the same mind with you. And if you train how to think clearly when you're meditating, you take those benefits and then you can apply it to the rest of your life. So this is why it's so important to meditate for yourself, because you're making an investment in your brain, so that just like you might teach yourself math that you can use in other situations like shopping, etc., when you teach yourself how to think clearly, you're making an investment in your brain, not just for the meditation experience, but also for the rest of life. Now, the other main experience that you're targeting with meditation is being able to be more present, especially for others. This is a really key thing for me. It really helps me to understand that I'm not just meditating for myself, I'm also making that investment for others. Now think about it. When you're with a friend or a sibling or a child that you really want to engage with meaningfully, you enjoy their presence, you enjoy looking at a smile on their face, etc., it's almost like these moments become more and more rare in everyday life. Think about it. All the time you're thinking about these future plans and worries of what you want to do, and these past anxieties of what you said to that one person, etc. It's like we can only ever be in the present, but all the time our minds are wandering all over the place in the past and the future. Now, imagine that you didn't have to do that. Imagine that you could really make a meaningful change in being able to pay more attention, in being able to think more clearly. You could engage more meaningfully in the relationships you have. You could be present for that friend or child or sibling, etc. This is why meditation isn't just an investment for yourself. You're also meditating so that you can train this skill and you can use it for others. So again, if you meditate, you can not only help yourself, but also help others around you by being more engaged in relationships. And again, meditation isn't just a one-time thing. The same brain that you have now, you're going to take into the next day and the next one and the next one. So if you make the investment in training your brain how to think clearly, it's something that's going to pay off for the rest of your life. So do yourself a favor and start meditating as early as you can. So I finally just wanted to leave some quick tips for anyone who actually wants to get started meditating. There are 3 things you should do. Firstly, just download the Waking Up app. I know I'm not sponsored, but I really like the app and the team. During COVID, they decided that because so many people had financial issues and they had these stresses that they were struggling with, they made the meditation app free. So anyone could just email in and they can get a free subscription for a year. And if anyone wants to do that, I'll leave a link in the description for you guys to check that out. Also, if you don't want to email them, they also have a free link that you can try the app with, and you get it free for a month. And that's long enough to do the introductory course. Second, again, the introductory course, it used to be 50 days, but now they made a shorter one that's 28. So it can be a month-long challenge. And again, make it consistent, make it routine, make it automatic. So if you have a habit of just checking social media and Instagram every time before you go to bed, well, take a 3-day challenge. Just delete Instagram, and then every time you feel the urge to check social media before you sleep, just meditate. And then finally, the third thing you should do is, after you've done the introductory course, the thing I like about the Waking Up app is that there are a lot of other courses that you can try with different styles of meditation. I tried one that was called Kensho meditation, which is Zen meditation, and I found it really insightful. There are a lot of things that you can learn from these other styles of meditation, rather than ones that are more so about focusing on your breath and just your experience, etc. So with all that said, I hope that you do decide to make the investment. I hope that you do have a great experience meditating and do it consistently, so that you can also start to see some of the benefits. I know that it's just a huge journey, and it'll continue to be a challenge for a long time, as it is for me even 6 months after. But I really look forward to seeing what comes out of it as I keep on going on, and hopefully as more people keep on doing it with me as well.